Yeah, Kimmy is over here caping for Maurice again. Both of y'all, just stop talking because it's not working. It's not helping. Is an insecure person toxic? Probably. We can check with Darius, Keke Palmer's man over here, or we can check with Jonah Hill and his girl. One of them is toxic, or all of them are insecure, and all of them are toxic, and all of them are probably insecure too. I don't know. But what I do know is this is not our business, this is theirs, because they put it out there all out in the Twittersville and such. So like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's see what the people said, y'all. So y'all, by now everybody has seen, the video with Keke and Usher, and Keke looking cute as hell, and Usher doing what Usher does, because it's Usher, baby. I don't know what you thought. Lil Darius over here, Keke's man got in his feelings, and the tweets began and the fallout started to happen. Let's talk about this first. I saw this meme this morning, and there's a picture of Chance I don't know, grinding on his booty. So on top of his picture, it says women, disrespectful, his wife should leave him, right? And then on top of Keke's picture, it says also women, not disrespectful, her man has no say, she can wear and do what she wants. I think that's not accurate. I think the women who said that Keke can wear whatever she wants are also the same women that said they didn't see nothing wrong with what Chance was doing. I happen to be one of those women. He was over there acting a fool, probably way too tipsy, and the girl bent over and he was doing too much. I don't know what how his wife felt about it. I feel like if it were me, I would feel exactly the same as I just said. The man is out there drunk and tipsy in Barbados or Carnival or one of these events where the women walk around in skimpy little outfits. And this is the thing, women can wear exactly whatever it is they want to wear. They also have to anticipate that niggas don't know how to act. So maybe you should stop getting so bent out of shape about things that are not a thing. Like, I realize, I guess I come from the Freaknik era. And so I ain't really worried about being in that movie because I wasn't over nowhere, bent over, getting grinded on. However, Carnival is just one of those things that's kind of, she bent over. She doesn't, if this young lady came out and said, I felt very uncomfortable with what was going on, I will feel differently. But everybody in that particular picture seems like they're having a good time. Same as Keke over here. We all seen this video and thought, Usher baby doing what Usher baby does. And nobody saw a problem with what was happening until Mr. Darius over here decided to tweet, right? Because Darius was very uncomfortable with what the mother of his child was wearing. I feel a couple of different ways about that too. First of all, Mr. Darius was dragged so bad, man. Once he went out on tweeted this shit, then people came for him. Keke's fans came and ripped this kid from one side and down the other. I'm okay. First, I'm not gonna call him a kid. He's 29 years old. However, they went and dug up your tweets, problematic tweets, but tweets nonetheless from his past. These tweets were from 7 years ago. So, he was 22 and, stupid, much like many 22-year-olds are. I think I would definitely not want to be held by anything I did or said at 22 years old. However, I don't know what his point of view is now, except for the point of view that says he is a man trying to, have a standard for his family, and that dress that Kiki had on was not it. And the world started calling him insecure. And I was like, I don't know him to be anything. When Kiki popped up with this man, and her baby bump, we all said, who the hell is he? We did not know who he was. We still don't know who he is, besides Kiki's boyfriend. If that's gonna make you insecure, then don't date celebrities, because and not like someone like Kiki, who's like a substantially big celebrity. Like, Kiki is the business. So if you are insecure, and I'm not saying you are, I'm just saying if you are, the people said you are. I did not say that because I do not know you. However, your behavior is somewhat insecure. Honestly, if you were feeling a way about seeing your girl over there with Usher, send her a text or something. Like, the whole tweet thing is what got you into trouble. But I looked up the definition of insecure, and it says not firmly fixed, liable to give away or break. And that's kind of what happened. Like, he was already like on the edge, I feel like, and then he broke. Now, I'm just finding out. I don't know. I don't have no facts. I don't have no details. But the word on the street, the people out here saying, the boy that packed his stuff and moved out. They said when Kiki came home from the party, he was already gone, which leads me to believe that he was mad before she went to Usher. Like, she went over to Usher. This headband drives me nuts. It's too big and not big enough, and I don't have enough hair. And growing your hair out is such a process. Like, this is why I always end up with short hair, because I start growing it out and then it gets on my nerves. And so I'm like, screw that, I'm gonna cut it off. So bear with me while I go through my headband phase. We'll see how far I get. And chances are I'm gonna come back with no hair, but let's run this thing. Anyway, back to this point. He moved out. That leads me to believe that he was already, the pressure was already on. He was not firmly fixed before she went out on that thing. This is another thing I do know. He was already getting on her nerves, because Kiki didn't wear that dress by accident. I myself happen to be one of the people, the tit for tat, the petty kind of people that, be pettying out here in these streets. I would say that I'm working on that. I'm working on a lot of things, but that ain't it. Like, I'm gonna just be petty. So it is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. And if I were going to Vegas to see Usher with my girls, and I was irritated with whatever the situation was at home, and my body is bodying, like Kiki's body is bodying, I probably would roll out in a dress with my little cheeks out. Like I said, I think she looked beautiful. And so she probably already knew, though, that this boy was already on edge. We tend to see like the fallout, and we ain't really there for the buildup. Now, we look at Kiki like little Kiki because we've been looking at her since she was Akilah and the Bee. But Kiki is 29 years old. So she's grown. She's officially grown. She's an adult. She's a mother with a child and a career. And I don't know, Mr. Darius, how y'all are going to work that whole situation out. Hopefully you figure a way to do it, because now y'all have a baby, and that's way bigger than whatever we talking about over here. So you moved out. I'm guessing you wanted to go along before she got to Usher, but I mean, the fact of the matter is Kiki is always gonna have access to the Ushers and the whatever she wants. And so, are you insecure, honey? I don't know. Are you toxic? Probably. I'm not gonna say you toxic all by yourself because um us petty people, us tit for tat people, like that's toxic behavior. Like I'm here to admit it. Like it doesn't necessarily help to like put another brick on the shelf that ain't quite that sturdy and firmly fixed. But something in us is like, you know what, shelf? I'm gonna just stack that one last brick on there because I can and because I'm mad or whatever the reason is. That's just how that went. So Kiki and her booty cheeks knew exactly what they was doing. I ain't mad at her. Like, girl, if you was prepared for the fallout, then it is what it is. Hopefully y'all work that thing out though and figure out how to be parents, because that part ain't easy. And now that you have firmly attached yourself to young Darius, Miss Kiki, he ain't going nowhere. Just be glad, you didn't be glad you didn't matrimony this nigga, because then you'll be arguing about your coin. Anyway. Jonas Hill. I'm gonna say Maurice and Kimmy for last because that's a lot. So Jonah Hill. I called him Jonas. Jonah Hill, he's quite beloved. But it's funny because in this situation with Kiki and her boyfriend, everybody is saying he's insecure because she's Kiki and she has access to Usher and she's Kiki and she's rich and she's famous and she's this and she's that and she's beautiful and all these things that are not necessarily something that a person who's not secure in who they are. And for somebody who's not like as rich and successful as someone like Kiki, and if you're like under this definition or diagnosis as being insecure, like I said, I don't know that the man is insecure. All I know is he's childish because he tweeted your business. You tweeted your business out there and then throw the tantrum and the people came for you. Like, I don't know what you were thinking. See, last time he was tweeting 7 years ago, didn't nobody know who he was. So, he probably had a little further, back and forth down in the comment section. I don't know. He may have people that agree with some of the ridiculous nonsense that he said. Quite sure he had a lot of people that agreed with the foolishness that he said. However, nobody knew him. This time around, man, it comes to Kiki. So, be prepared. You weren't prepared, child. These beehives and these navies and these Barbies and stuff, you don't want to fool with that. So you found out, but I still don't believe that that's the trigger, that took you over the edge. With Jonah, though, so Jonah's ex-girlfriend blasted him for being a misogynist narcissist, released text messages where he forbids her from posting pictures in swimsuits and hanging out with other men. So in this scenario, Jonah is the famous one. And Jonah is the one that's exhibiting insecure behaviors. And so this just goes to show you, like, the whole fame and fortune part, that doesn't have nothing to do with it. I don't know this lady either. All I know is she's attached to Jonah Hill. Now, again, is she insecure? I don't know, but she's childish as hell for posting this shit. Text messages. I should be able to text you, and regardless to what man, I'm not pulling out your text, because then you're gonna pull out mine. And Miss Tit for Tat over here has probably said and done plenty of things that I don't even really need tweeted out to the whole universe. But I'm not famous, so the fallout ain't gonna be exactly the same as it is for these two people. Everybody loves Jonah, so people are gonna look at this girl like, and I'm looking at you too, like, girl, why do you put this out there though? I'm just saying, like, where you're looking out for the next girl because it says that he's your ex-boyfriend or you're his ex-girlfriend. So I know that's not it. Like, see, y'all are still in it. Seem like they over here still titting and tatting. But let's talk about what he texts her though. So Mr. Jonah over here texts his, I'm assuming they were together at the time, girlfriend, boundaryless. Wait, what does it say? Okay, so this is what Jonah had to say. If you need surfing with men, whoop, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, what the fuck? To model, that's a problem. I'm gonna back it on up. This nigga said, if you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to model, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures, friendships with women who are unstable, who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or a coffee or something, respectful. I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for a romantic relationship. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. My boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. That's what Mr. Jonah had to say. Jonah, you sound crazy as. See, you walk around here with your little Mr. Nice Guy persona, because Jonah has this image. Jonah used to be a little fluffier back in the day, and then now he's like, slim and trim. He over here in the movie, not actually kissing Lauren London because she said, nah, she wasn't about to do that. But and I mean, was it her or was it him? Because now that I'm reading this, everybody was like, Lauren didn't want to kiss Jonah. Maybe Jonah was out here saying, I wasn't actually kissing her because they CGI'd it. So you can't actually be out here surfing with men. Okay, Jonah. So this is another text. It says, respect however you want to live your life. You respect however you want to live your life. You only get one. Sort of done with explaining myself. So after that, and he has sent it with a picture of her surfing. It's her on a surfboard. And that was the text underneath it. She said, she responded, 3 remove, not the video yet. It's my best surfing video. Would you feel better if the cover frame was different? Any more specific ones that bother you? So after he said all this, she then removed the pictures and asked him if there were any ones that, bother him. Mind you, this girl is a surfer. I went on her Instagram because I was like, well, let me see, what she got going on over here that he's so uncomfortable with. She got a little bitty cakes in a bikini and she's surfing. That's it. I saw surfing and some hanging out with friends, and nothing quite, honey. There was nothing provocative going on over there. I have a feeling that the ones that she took down were no more provocative than the ones she had up there. Yes, one that isn't of your ass in a thong. So he wants her to change the cover. So, this is not her being insecure. This is him being insecure. This is her trying to placate this toxic nigga by taking this shit down. The only difference between what happened here and with Kiki, because I'm gonna guarantee you, Kiki got some text like that. She just didn't put them on a Twitter, but you can tweet Kiki. Since we're all in the conversation. If he was over there acting a fool and you want to blast that, it'd just be another week of us, having something to talk about, I suppose. It's okay. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying, she probably has a lot of that stuff too. Go through any couple and they're conversations between two people. There's gonna be some, I don't like this, and you need to change that. And if you're in a relationship with somebody, you often compromise because you care about that person. Plain and simple. You compromise because you care, and you don't want to do something that's gonna make the person that you love uncomfortable, right? Surfing with men. Don't people surf though? Like, I don't think that's like men surf, women surf. Like, that's just a thing. Jonah, do you not know how to surf? I feel like I've seen few pictures of you out there. Not necessarily on your Instagram, but they out there, you can find them. And there's a bunch of pictures of Jonah out there with his trunks on at the beach. There's plenty of beach pictures of Jonah Hill on the internet in a swimsuit. Now, he don't have on a bikini thong. I'm just saying his chest hairs is all out and all of that and all of that. So he out there, you know, doing his thing. Maybe he can't surf. I don't know. But this, I think it's like her actual career. Based on what I've seen, she looks like she does this for a living. So people who surf need to wear a swimsuit. Now, I brought this up in my other video because it was a whole bunch of girls on the freaking Explore page that are in bathing suits for no damn reason. Bathing suit in your bathroom, bathing suit in your kitchen, bathing suit, like, you know, sitting on your couch. She's an actual surfer. So she should be able to get in a bathing suit. I'm sure there's not just her and a bunch of niggas surfing too. I feel like there's people there, but you don't want the men to be there. That sounds a little insecure. And it's so manipulating the way he posted this text, because, you know, to be like, this is my boundaries. And you know what? She's in a whole relationship with this man. So much like Kimmy, because we've been dogging Kimmy all week, much like Kimmy, she's not just going to be like, okay, fine. Then we're not in a relationship. Looks like it finally happened. Looked like somebody finally got tired of it. But I have a feeling, and it wasn't him. This is probably, you know, one of many. Like, this is probably one of many conversations that went something like that. Boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men. I don't know what that means. So, what is a boundaryless, inappropriate? What do you consider boundaryless and inappropriate? I'm just asking because, you know, the next one is to model. To model? That sounds like work. And I feel like a lot of these athletes get work modeling. So, and I mean, she's a thin, non-melanated young lady. She probably has plenty of opportunities as an athlete. I don't know, to sell some energy drink. That might be modeling. And because she's a surfer, they might want to put her in a swimsuit. Like, what was she doing when you met her? How did she show up in the world? Did you see her on the beach and then you decided you didn't want her to wear a swimsuit no more after you met your girlfriend, Johnny? You sound crazy. This is really funny. This list is ridiculous. To post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit. Stop it. To post sexual pictures. Again, Jonah, what's considered a sexual picture? Because I only seen pictures of her surfing and maybe hanging out with some friends. I wasn't really trying to spend too much time over there on her Instagram. I just wanted to see what's tea. I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no sexual pictures. I saw this girl on the beach with a surfboard running around. Her swimsuit wasn't even what you would consider. Okay, and this is another thing. A lot of these young ladies that you see, like on the Explore page in their swimsuits, are overly luscious. Let's just put it that way. It's a whole lot of titties, it's a whole lot of booties and thighs, and, you know, all of that, and some little teensy-weensy triangles. She ain't got none of that, child. She's a, you know, she got teensy-weensy cakes and teensy-tiny tits, and it wasn't given what you're trying to make us believe it was given, Jonah. It was just a girl over there minding her business down to the surfboard, seemingly working and having a little bit of fun. You didn't put fun on the list. No fun. I didn't see where he put no fun. Friendships with women who are unstable who are in unstable places, and from your recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful. Don't be friends with your friends. This is beyond insecure. This is controlling, 100% toxic. She childish for putting it out there, but I'm glad she did, since this is good. This is juicy stuff. I'm not the partner for you. If these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. My boundaries with you are based on ways these actions have hurt our trust. I mean, honestly, to me, the only thing for her to do is, let it go, girl, like Elsa, because he has some serious problems for real. We didn't know, but you put this out here, and now we all know. Now, moving forward, I recommend that don't put that stuff on the internet, because it's not a good look for you. You know what I'm saying? Because if you are modeling and trying to get endorsements and things over here, then this kind of stuff can hurt you, put you in a bad light, because now you've came for Jonah Hill, Hollywood's little, doughboy that they love so much. So everybody's looking at you bad. And I'm not even gonna lie. When I first heard it, I was like, well, why these chicks? These chicks, because every day you get on the internet and some girl is trying to tell somebody's wife or girlfriend that they got a baby. This, like, what's his name? This girl over here, I'm not even gonna talk about them. But Lil Meech and Summer Walker are over here having a good old time doing whatever it is they're doing. Now, I don't know that I believe Lil Meech is the best, thing for a person. Summer, you got 2 kids over there. And they've been coming for you ever since day one, as far as that's concerned. You've had plenty of drama. See, this is the kind of drama Summer stays in. She didn't fought over there with what's his name? Mustard, London on the track. She was over there with London on the track fighting with Dave, with his baby mamas, and then she got a baby with somebody. I do not know who it is. He was here one day and now he's not. And now she's with Lil Meech, and they seem to be having the time of their life. We don't know what's going to happen with that. Probably not happily ever after, and definitely not matrimony. But they over here doing it for the gram, because this is the kind of thing that, young celebrities do. And then there's a girl over here messaging Summer, talking about he ain't answering my calls, and he's done ghosted me, and he's done blocked me, but I'm about to be a mother and he's about to be a father. It's just messy. And and you tweet that and you put it somewhere on social media, and we're over here going, girl, get some help. At the point in which he ghosted you and blocked you, and you over here talking about, I'm having his baby, I'm not, trying to tell you what to do, but at the very least, be prepared to be raising this child by your damn self, because he ain't interested. And the next season, he gonna be right there with Terry down to the BMF, and we don't know where you're gonna be, and probably not Summer either. Jesus, he on break. Shit. When it's time for him to go back to work, we probably won't see him and Summer hanging out no more anyway. So yeah, y'all. Insecure and toxic. That seems to be the theme for the week. And then there's Maurice. I don't notice he's insecure, but he's toxic as hell. So let's talk about that. So Maurice went over to Carlos King. We know that, and he, made a complete fool of himself. But it seems as though he's very good at that. He says some complete, utter, disgusting nonsense. The people meaning us, we came for him for being so disgusting and ridiculous. And so now he got Kimmy to come over here and try to fix it for him, which she did not do. But that's what we about to get into. So Funky Dineva asked Kimmy, like, what sparked the love between the two of them, and she said that they met flipping houses and they got to talking about real estate. And then that's how they got to know each other. Then she started trolling him, she said, on social media, and the rest is history. Now, I want to know, when she says trolling him on social media, does she mean stalking him and then going down to the barbershop with her son to get his hair cut and then turning that? Like, when did the whole barbershop thing come in? Because when Maurice was cutting your hair, you said you saw him on the internet, on the Instagram. You thought he was cute, so you hobbled on down to the barbershop and to see what's up. And I don't know a single mom anywhere with a son that hasn't hobbled on down to the barbershop to see what's up. I'm just saying. I just don't know if that came before the real estate or after the real estate. At the end of the day, you keep trying to clean up this narrative that we don't care about anyway. And it doesn't matter because, in the words of So Gucci over there at the Bell Collective, you won the man. You won the man. Congratulations. I mean, I want her to stop trying to convince us that Maurice is not who we see. We see him not because of the show, because when he was just on the show and nothing else, sorry, I'm back messing with this thing again. When he was just on the show and nothing else, we actually liked Maurice. He was like the favorite husband. But then when he started going over here doing this interview, showing us how really not likable he actually is, that's where that all happens. So this isn't us like the fans doing too much and watching the show, because like Mel said back in the day, Maurice was the most boring person on the show. That part was not a lie. And he still is, but he's just not a good person. Like the stuff that Maurice is doing, and the fact that you feel like you need to come out, even the positioning. Maurice is sitting behind her and she's sitting in front of him like as this to protect him. And you said it out of your mouth. You feel like, she said this on the last episode of the show, she said Maurice often goes out of his way to protect Kiowa and Monster, aka Maurice Jr., but doesn't do the same for her. So you feel unprotected by Maurice as he sits there using you as a human shield to handle the interview questions. And he ain't doing a good job at it, because we ain't convinced that Maurice is anything. Look, you can stay with him, love him to the end of all time. That's what y'all signed up for. But what we have seen of Maurice, we don't like him. You can keep him, you can defend him, you can do what you ever want to do with him, but it's not going to, negate the fact that Maurice is trash, period, point blank. That's it. That's how we feel about it. So Kimmy says he never forced her into anything. Girl, we did not think he was over here forcing you like that. But I think, if she said he never threatened to leave her, but to be honest, yeah, he kind of did. Like the whole point of him, the whole action of him being over at when he was over there doing that interview with Carlos King, he said, and this is the stuff that people are so focused on, because this is more about how he feels about things and less about, he's saying what he's thinking. He said, I'm not someone who wants sex. I'm someone who needs it. We already heard him, when you were at the retreat, at the couples retreat, y'all were negotiating how many times a day, he feels like he needs it every day. And this is before the whole cancer subject ever came up. We were like, every day, twice a day, what is you talking about? And you said that this was your thing. This was my thing. This was my role. When I got married, I decided that I wouldn't make my husband go more than 7 days without sex. Nobody comes up with that rule. That's stupid. The only reason why you came up with that rule is because this nigga's over here talking about he had sex 6 times a day. When he said that, it sounded stupid. Now I'm like, oh, so he was for real. He was on Carlos King saying that he wanted to be a deacon because he was afraid he was going to get HIV. That's the words you're talking about. That's the words that you're talking about that you didn't like that he used, that you didn't feel protected by. That's a fact. Like, ain't no way to change it. The fact that something will happen to him if he doesn't have sex, no, that part's not a fact. But in his mind, he needs it. He doesn't just want it, he needs it. So if you're not giving it to him, he's still gonna need it. So that way, if he needs it from somewhere, he gonna get it. That's the implication. So you trying to say and focus on the fact that he didn't use the words to protect you? No, he used the words that he meant. Those are the words that he meant. He meant that he needs it. And if he don't get it, he gonna get it. That's what we're bothered by. Oh no, Kimmy sat up there saying he's not the only one missing out. I'm missing out, like, and during the chemo, like she doesn't climax the way that she normally would. Kimmy, nobody wanted all these details of your sex life. And nobody's saying that you don't like having sex with your husband. I mean, clearly you do. So yeah, are you missing out? Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, I mean, honestly, I feel like if I had to bend over every damn day, then yeah, I'm missing out because I'm not going to enjoy that. I'm not going to enjoy it. I'm just going to, like, it's like now it has become a job. And based on the way Maurice behaves and the things that he says, I don't feel like it's a tender loving experience. I feel like exactly what he said it was, roll over and suffer through it. That's probably about what it amounts to. But I mean, hey, don't nobody gotta like it but you, Kimmy. And you said you feel like you was missing out. I think the whole point is for us is that during this time that you're going through these things where you're saying that you don't feel attractive, and instead of him being compassionate to what you're going through, he flips it around and says you rolling over and servicing him is you standing by him while he's standing by you. That's what the fool said. These are the things, like, is that the words that he used that you felt like you were unprotected by? I mean, it's the truth. That's what he thinks. Such a lovely man. Funky Dineva asked Maurice if he thought it was selfish of him to require her to roll over and suffer through it, being that she was going through, you know, basically fighting for her life and dealing with treatments and all the things that goes along with that. And he basically said, I mean, I said what I said. And that's the way I heard it. Then he tries to, you know, explain things in the way that Maurice explains things. And he says, you know, you got to take things into the context and understand that I did not realize that she was suffering. How do you not realize? How do you not realize? I have never honestly been like have to live or take care of someone going through cancer, although I have had a good friend of mine go through it. And yeah, there were days where she just couldn't in the midst of her treatment. Plus the fact that, you know, you know, the feelings that you're feeling about, like, how are you handling this whole situation and diagnosis mentally? Because at the end of the day, when somebody gives you that diagnosis, you're the only one dealing with it. All anybody else can do is hold your hand. So how do you not know that this person that is your wife, that you're supposed to be connected to, how do you not know she's suffering? Is there no compassion? There isn't. You know why? Because during this time, you know, you consider her standing by you while you're standing by her. You even said it's not realistic. This is what he said over there at Carlos King. It's not realistic to think that somebody would go without sex while, you know, all of this is happening and you're dealing with these treatments. Kimmy was dealing with these treatments. Well, when did we find out? I feel like it was months. Like, has it even been a year? Because all of this stuff happened like Christmas time, I feel like, when you know what I'm saying? And so and she's all, well, I mean, I guess she ain't stopped a beat. She ain't missed a beat. She been going through what she going through. She had to go through the whole shaving her hair and loss of hair and all of the emotional things that go along with feeling beautiful, which is part of your sexuality. She was dealing with all of that. But you know, you, her husband, you ain't even know. You thought, you know, when she said ooh ooh ah, that she was doing a damn thing. Musclehead ass monster. Funky Dineva asked Maurice if he didn't think it would be okay to let her forego that one duty. He said, usually when people are sick, you know, we help them out. You know what I mean? Like, you catch a bad cold and you're laying in bed and then your kids wash the dishes or cook dinner for you or make sure the house is clean. Usually the husband of the house is telling the kids, y'all make sure it's clean in here. Your mama don't feel good. And, you know, she don't need to have to clean up this mess behind you guys. Like, that's the stuff that happens in a normal household. But not over there where Maurice lived, because not only did he want her to roll over and suffer through it, he also wanted her to, I don't know, raise his teenage son for him. So he feels like, on top of all that, because, you know, Maurice is on the, you know, thing. He liked to number things. Number one, this, and this. And number two, yeah, well, why you numbering things, Maurice? Number one, you made Kimmy suffer through it. Number two, you didn't ask your boy to get up and clean his room and wash the dishes. You thought that was going to be Kimmy's job. So on top of everything that she was going through, Funky Dineva, he didn't forego any of it. He required her to do the, you know, the roll over and bend over and just suffer through a thing. He also required her to wash the dishes, clean the clothes, go to work. Oh, no, I told her she didn't have to work, but, you know, she had to get out of that house, I'm sure, and get away from y'all some type of way. And you also required her to not just, you know, give your son duties to do, but then follow through and discipline him when he's not. So yeah, no, he didn't make her like fall back on any of the things that she was supposed to do. None of her wifely duties were taking like off the table during this time where she was supposed to be, you know, in treatment and recovery. So Funky Dineva asked Kimmy, he said, Kimmy, I'm sitting here, I can't help but think that you are looking uncomfortable. Are you? And she's like, no, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just listening to him answer the question. And sometimes I feel like, you know, he's not answering the question at hand. I feel like he's never answering the question at hand. I feel like he intentionally doesn't answer the question. I feel like he intentionally shifts the whole subject. You know, like when you're there to discuss Monster and, you know, his responsibilities, and he switches the whole narrative over to how come you and Kiowa don't get along. Like Maurice almost never answers the question. He just literally says a whole lot of words and absolutely doesn't deliver any kind of information or answers to the actual question that he was asked. Yeah. So I feel like you're kind of like falling in that same category too, because you're like, no, I'm not uncomfortable. I'm just in my head thinking about how he's not actually answering the question. That's like kind of like you're uncomfortable. It's written all over your face, Kenny. You don't have to say a word. Woo. So if y'all want to go catch the interview, it's over on Fox Soul's TGIF with Claudia. Claudia can't stand Maurice. I was right there with Claudia. She was like, Kimmy, I don't care what you're saying. This is a fool right here. I gave him 3 opportunities to try to fix it, and he chose not to. He said, I said what I said. Kimmy, that's your man. And so you're gonna protect your man, all the way down to standing in front of him and taking this bullet, taking this interview bullet. That was all on you, Kimmy. I mean, we judging because y'all out here. We didn't ask for this. Y'all brought it to us. He did the interview. You could have just let him sit in it. You could have just let him sit in his own mess where we think Maurice's ass is trash. And You could let that be what it is, but no, you gotta come sit up in front of this fool and speak on his behalf because you're afraid that he ain't gonna answer the question right. So I mean, that's what you signed up to, girl. Do your thing. We don't want it. We don't want any of it. But you know, what we do want, what I want y'all to like this video, subscribe to my channel. Yeah, we'll be back to see what the people say next time they start talking, y'all. Have a good one. Bye.